Hello, Oscar. How are you today?
I'm supposed to be on with Bonnie Laufer. I don't want to work with. Hey,
You know what?
oh,
You
oh.
cut me some slack, Oscar. Come on.
Hi, Bonnie.
How are you? Good to see
Good,
you.
good to see you.
How are things going post-pandemic? Well, we're getting there.
Listen, what's important was we're both wearing sweaters. Yours is pink, mine's is like dark green. And you're in. Are you in Toronto?
Toronto. Yeah. When are we going to get you back here?
I don't know. Whenever. I love Toronto. I
Okay.
was when we were there doing People of Earth.
Yes.
This is even before Trump was president.
We don't say that word in this interview.
Even
Yeah.
before that, I was like texting my wife. I'm like, why don't we live here? And she's like, oh, spend a winter there and get back to me. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Because we would
Yeah.
tell people there, we're like, this is great. And they're like, relax. We're having a very warm summer. When we were there shooting, it was
Yeah.
beautiful. And they're
Yeah.
like, this isn't, winters are really hard. We all go underground because we walked under the buildings. They said, we're having particularly beautiful summers. And we were there for 2 wonderful summers.
Well, good stuff. Well, listen, our summer's coming up. They're predicting nice hot weather, so you've got no excuse. We'll take you back. Okay.
I love Toronto. Do you still have the museums there?
Well, everything,
And the
everything's
universities
coming
and the
back to
trolleys
life.
and the
The best.
restaurants, the different neighborhoods.
It's the best. Oh God, our neighborhoods. I love. That's what I love so much about the city. The diversity.
I
It's
walked
amazing.
around, Bonnie. I walked everywhere from the CNN Tower down
Yeah.
to over there and back up to the museum and
Oh,
all over the place.
good stuff. Well, we're gonna have you back, but let's talk about this so much fun film because
Oh,
so many kind of reunions for you in the Lost City. So let's start with the big one, Sandra B. I mean, come on, 13 years since the proposal. Where does the time go?
I don't know, but no one's better. She's a good kid. She's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person and woman. And she texted me out of the blue, and I'm like, yes, of course. In Dominican Republic, and I took my wife and daughter, and
Nice.
it was wonderful. And then I got to meet Divine too on the first day we shot. That's when I met her on the tarmac, and it was
Yeah, the
great.
Divine, you have that Toronto connection with Divine
That's
because
right.
that's where you guys did,
Yeah,
the film. So how cool is that?
well, the best,
Yeah,
the best.
yeah.
This is no better job.
No better job indeed. I mean, I think you have way too much fun with your work, Oscar. Like everything that you pick, pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah. The bad, because there are bad experiences, but they're at the beginning of your career, at the beginning.
Yeah.
When you're doing guest spots and those things, then you could have horrible moments there. But once
Yeah.
you've been in it a decade or whatever, it's you get to what you're picking and
Yeah.
it becomes a lot of fun.
Oh, for sure. But this one, what I love so much about it is, first of all, great cast. Nobody takes themselves too seriously. It just looks like I said, having so much fun. But it's such a great throwback to like the Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of films. And
Yeah.
yeah, what was it like for you to be out there in the Dominican, the jungle, having fun with the Divine? I mean, come on.
It was like a vacation. It's a vacation. And then there's celebrities there. And then, oh yeah, I have to work. I've got to go work this day. And there was one day or two that was like, oh, it's kind of dangerous on the water. But for the most part, and the only bad thing, it's not even bad, it's what it is. But I left before Brad Pitt got there. And Brad Pitt was there just 1 or 2 days, and he got out of there. But it would have been cool to meet him.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, he was great. He was
He's
great.
hilarious.
And also, like, it's like, I've met Sandra many times. She's so lovely. She's amazing. She is who she is. She's so honest. You get what you get with Sandra. You see what
Yeah.
but what I love is that she will do almost anything. Like there's really probably nothing that she won't do.
No, her and Shannon were in the jungle and in the water and jumping and swimming, and she had a gown on, that ridiculous thing, and she's like in the water. She did all that.
Yeah, that ridiculous jumpsuit. I think it should go into the Smithsonian.
Maybe. It might be in her house hanging. Who knows?
I'm sure she got rid of it before. She probably didn't want to look at that thing after.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I want to ask you too, like when you get a script or a TV series or whatever it is at this point in your career, Oscar, what is it that kind of says, okay, I want to try that? There's got to be some criteria for you, I would think.
Hopefully it's interesting. There's a lot of good stuff out there, and hopefully and a lot of bad stuff, and hopefully it's just a good script, and you're like, oh, okay, this is interesting, and then you find out who's in it and who's directing and all that.
Yeah, and then
it's funny because things are change, things change, whatever. Of course they do, and there's 3 things now on Apple or Prime that I'm watching, and these shows wouldn't exist, 10 or 15 years ago.
That's right.
They're just so weird, and they're all about my spirit is in someone else's body now. I'm looking in the mirror, it's someone else. It's time for, it's Russian Doll, Severance, and The Shining Girls.
Yes, I've seen all 3.
They're so trippy, aren't they?
Very.
And they're all about I'm waking up. Oh, I'm in my body now. No, I'm in your body now. And they all make sense and they're all good. But this is a new phenomenon. This whole time travel thing, and they're all good and they're all really freaked out.
Well, but speaking of good, you were in a fairly good series called The Office, and listen, when it was live, I never missed it. Watched it every week. But now, of course, people can get it on these streaming services.
It's on all the time.
For sure. And so you're amassing new fans all the time. Like I was just talking to somebody who was my age because my son just discovered The Office. She was all excited that I was going to talk to you and all this. And I go, yeah, what's so amazing is there always all these new fans. What's that like for you? Walking down the street, you're meeting people my age or whatever, but then you're meeting kids 15, whatever, that are just discovering the show. That's so cool.
High school kids are fun. And, young people who are gay and they're like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hi, how are you? And they're like, because of your character, it's cool. And I came out and I'm like, wow. We shot this so long ago, but it's still relevant to people now going through their thing. And I'm like, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Do you have it's so hard to choose, but I got to know, do you have an absolute favorite episode from The Office that just sticks with you?
No, they're all, but I always say Gay Witch Hunt just because that gave me a way out to go shoot another show on Comedy Central and then come back. So that was,
amazing. Such a great show. Now back to the movie. I got to ask you something here because tackling Daniel Radcliffe, that's pretty bold.
Someone else jumped off the thing. It was like one step too high for me because I'm like, you guys, I can do this. And they're like, you don't have to, Oscar. This is not let the guys do it. I'm like, yeah, let them do it. Because I'm like, I can jump from here, which is like 2 feet off the ground. They're like, no, we want them to jump from the top. I'm like, and onto a metal floor of the boat. There's no padding when they did. I'm like, I'll skip that.
Yeah.
My brain's like, I can do it. Yeah, my body's like,
you're not on top of them.
Yeah, and my body's like, you're not 22. My brain's like, we can do this. My body's like, no, we can't. So the fella jumped, and then I lied down and turned around and said whatever I said. Hey, I got your back, or whatever.
It worked well. He was great as the villain. I like I said, everybody
was so good. He's such a good actor.
He is. He
such a good actor.
So what's next? What else are we going to see from you? What's coming up?
What's happening? I shot I think it's going to come out on Prime. I don't know when, but it's a movie called Remote.
Okay.
And the guy who wrote it is Paul Lieberstein.
Yeah.
Do you know Paul Lieberstein?
I've heard of him. Yes.
He's Toby on The Office.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Toby.
Who he is. We love Toby.
So Toby wrote and directed a movie, and it's very funny, and a bunch of funny people are in it. And I don't know when it's coming out, but we're done shooting. He's editing as we speak.
Well, we will look out for that, and of course keep watching episodes over and over and over of The Office. It makes me happy every time I watch one. And you are so good in the Lost City. Thank you so much for that. Okay. And thank you for your time, Oscar, and have a great weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.